Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, September 15, 2023, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a reverse aging health call tonight around 9 p.m. Eastern. We are always looking for something. We want to find the right teacher. But I say that you are the right teacher. The right teacher is where and what you are. Person, place, or thing is not the real teacher. Robert Adams. Gather all courage. Take a jump. Even the dewdrop slipping from a lotus leaf trembles for a moment. Tries to hang on a little more because he can see the ocean. Once he has fallen from the lotus leaf, he is gone. And in a way, you will not be, just as a dewdrop dissolves into the ocean. You will be gone. But it is not a loss. You will be oceanic. And all other oceans are limited. The ocean of existence is unlimited. Ocean. One of the deepest truths that you could ever have is to be connected with each other. We are like one grand ocean of energy consciousness. Think about that. All of us. And that appears to form itself as separate individual droplets of ocean water. Upon seeing the totality of our existence, it is blatantly obvious that we are operating under one energy source together. There is one common goal for all. This goal is to merge and be unified with the one divine God source. In other words, we become aware. One thing you can sit there and say that you can tell someone or tell yourself that you are the God within the body. But to understand that you are part of the one divine God source. You are the God source. All of us are the God source within these bodies. We are here to experience our true vastness, totally being the all-loving, ever-present cosmic ocean. It was apparent how clinging to any one thought of individuated separation is where all of humanity's feelings of powerlessness, poverty, and suffering begins and ends. A quote from Nisargadatta: let go of the idea that you are not aware of yourself as the ever-present, changeless, inexpressible reality. What this means is that we are the ones responsible for creating the illusory experience that we are disconnected. Everything is needed and perfect in our world. Even the wonderful illusion of separation is needed so as later we can create an experience of unification. When we accept our deepest illusions, hardest feelings, and most challenging pools of separation consciousness that we are swimming in, we can one day relax and float downstream, merging back into the great ocean, the golden ocean. We're always connected with one omnipresent self. We are this single God source that is weaving its way through everything and everyone. It's just that the mind gets in the way and wants something. It wants to be special, loved, appreciated, and accepted by the world. Most people don't believe this in their heart, and thus unknowingly cling to the known, trying to heal, liberate, or enlighten themselves through holding to certain thoughts and ways of thinking about life. When the mind becomes narrowed down any one path for too long, it becomes fixated and tight, like a closed book, and cannot receive the new insights and abundance it could grow into. To find that the most enlightening truth we can handle is the one that greatly increases our power, wisdom, inner peace, and manifesting ability. As we evolve closer to the exotic, universal truth of who and what we really are, this universe bestows greater gifts and more beautiful manifestations for us to accept and enjoy. The tricky part is that many of us tend to hold tight onto ideas of the past and future. What we think we know feels comforting, especially when met with the great ocean of unknowns. The most enlightened and highest experience we humans can tap into is one that cannot be captured by the mind. Yet it reveals itself naturally and spontaneously when the mind is truly at rest and ease. Like the feeling we might get from a spontaneous breeze on a hot summer day. If we soften our hearts, quiet our mind, and become deeply receptive, we can relax into it and deeply enjoy it. The head alone is not enough. It is too small of a container to take in the outrageous experience of enlightenment. The greatest experience can only be absorbed with an open heart and soul. When the mind's quiet, something inside us instantly aligns with this infinite spiritual essence that is inside everything and everyone. If and when we devote our life to quieting the mind and opening our heart to the divine source, we can feel, see, and know our real self. What is our real self? It's that part of you who feels deeply, intimately connected with everyone and everything. It is so vast that it also has room for the experience that we are small, powerless, separated beings stuck in small pools of individuated consciousness. Yet, it is so much more. The real self is omnipresent, vast as the endless ocean, extremely bright, beautiful, and so powerful that it instantly consumes all the other versions we make up of what reality is. A small warning to the beginner on the spiritual path. It can be quite challenging to just choose to step out of your old self and into this experience of being one with the ocean, because everyone around you won't agree or understand what you're going through. We have learned to lean on society for an understanding of who and what we are. Collectively, we humans have spent the past 2,000 plus years attempting to reconnect with this oneness through religion, because we have completely forgotten that we are already permanently connected to the God Source. We have spiritual amnesia caused by a societal mind that was buried under the illusion that we are all like swine when in truth we are divine. Seeing through this great misunderstanding, we can be liberated from our collective consciousness. We can be free from all suffering, just like how the great masters have done through the ages. This collective awakening is part of the greater plan for our planet's spiritual evolution. As long as this belief in separation is the main way our society operates, we must each rebel against the norm if we are ever to find spiritual freedom. This belief system that we are not one being is the main reason why there is still war, poverty, and environmental destruction on this planet. There still remains a belief that we are disconnected. This belief is always being projected, emanating from everybody's mind around you. What everyone believes you are most likely becomes what you believe is true as well. It's safe to say that every single person you have met in this life has been overly identified with this idea of a separate self, ego, and most likely will fight for upholding the belief in our separation until the very end. It takes a very clear mind, a courageous heart, and a determined soul to break free from the matrix of illusions the society is casting over our eyes. To be free from social programming, we must choose first to be free from our ego. For our ego to even exist at all, it must hold firm onto some belief in its separate nature. If it doesn't do this, it will feel very lost, confused, and afraid, and eventually give up. The ego must believe that it is a separate somebody rather than an omnipresent nobody. It's been trained to believe it, that it believes it is a drop of water and not the entire ocean as well. This individuated approach to life has a great payoff of creating a feeling of power, control, and direction in life. Without the ego, we might believe that all our outcomes and manifestations show up because we are the universe, and the universe is making everything happen. Without the ego, we would only have a feeling of love, abundance, true empowerment, and real inner peace in life. The greatest truth that we can find is going to be the one that liberates us from this limited, contracted mind and ego. The truth that frees our spirit is the one that brings forth the deepest feeling of joy into the lives of everyone around us. This truth is found from intimately knowing our real self, our permanent, unbounded, infinite spiritual nature, only from exploring what it feels like to be at one with the ocean of life. Can we be free? This exploration is what leads us to find full self-realization and true liberation in the end. I'd like you to do a radical experiment with your life right now. I invite you to relax into this idea and feeling that you are separate from the universe right now. Rest deeply in the feeling that you are not at all the core of the God source right now. Start with becoming very curious about this idea. Feel into what it actually means until you make friends with it. The goal would be to let yourself completely melt into the feeling of separation and have zero resistance to it. With a little practice, we might discover what it's like to be connected with our experience of separation. The most healing, loving, magical, empowering source in this universe is in everything. So it is also in this experience of separation. The more we can relax into it, the more we open our heart and quiet our mind. To find that the experience of deep separation dissolves itself naturally on its own accord. Within the core of separation, we will discover the most profound, powerful, unstoppable, and intimate, direct connection by this pure channel of intelligent, conscious energy that breathes our very core. So just dive into the deepest root of all your problems, faults, self-criticisms, personal issues. These are where you feel the most separate and disturbed. Do not wait until it's the right time to do it. Just relax into them every day, whenever and wherever you are. Make it the number one priority of your life, to find this loving divine connection that is already here. Trust that it is already here, even if you cannot find it right away. Act as if you are being held like a newborn baby in the most loving, caring mother's arms by simply resting into this feeling of separation. And you will make amazing progress on your spiritual path in a matter of minutes. You, all of us are the supreme being. And yet, thinking ourselves to be separate from it, we strive to become united with it. Thinking ourselves to be separate from it, we strive to become united with it. What is stranger than this? From Mount Mauritius. I find that when one begins their spiritual path, there is this feeling that who we are is more unreal than real. What I mean by this is that it can be shocking to discover that what we thought we were our entire lives is not real. We truly have no clue as to who and what we really are. We are that which is beyond what the mind can understand. We are that which is beyond what the mind can understand. We are like the infinite edges of the most massive movie screen you can imagine, which has no end to the colorful, creative possibilities it could contain. Our freedom comes from knowing our undefinable nature. When we realize that we are more like a blank, multi-dimensional creative canvas, and not all the scenes and stories from the grand film, something inside of us feels very vast and free. Sit back. Take a good look at your life. Take one evening to investigate all the wonderful, horrific, typical, unusual, and peak states from your life. Notice if they sum up everything about who and what you are. Is there anything more than this? Ask yourself, what is my real self? Who am I without all these experiences? Do I still exist without these memories? And if so, what exactly is that? Our real self is beyond the greatest mystery anyone could explore. We are much more amazing and magical than this separated mind ego. We are bigger than all the life experiences that are projected on to us. and into us. We are also much more than the pure witness, awareness, consciousness. We are the totality of it all. We are that which life gets to play, dance, and sing, all of itself through. The separate, limited, suffering self is a comfortable habit, one that can be dropped by simply knowing how to stop identifying with it. All of us are neither consciousness nor its content. We are the timeless source, the supreme reality. Trust that. Nisargadatta. Trust it. The discovery of the real self is a profound spiritual exploration. The realization of who we truly are is a timeless experience that eventually becomes the death of our ego and the beginning of real freedom. Ironically, it is our deepest, innermost battle for freedom, our resistance to total surrender, that perpetuates the ego. When we stop fighting, we begin clearly seeing. When we stop fighting, we begin clearly seeing. The truth is revealed when there is no more need to push, pull, prove, or fight for anything. When we stop the struggle against what is, the ego's clouded existence drops and something greater enlightens our way. As long as we continue to pursue this life, thinking we are only a separate being, limited in power, love, abundance, and self-expression, we will get attached to goals, thinking they will make us happy. Be very careful not to think that these limited ideas have anything to do with who you are. The concepts of ownership, my life, my body, my thoughts, my stuff, my reality, and my mind are the only thing perpetuating our human experiences of suffering. Drop these ideas. See what is left. Nothing is actually yours, and everything is yours when you realize your real self. There is no more need for the feeling of possession when we see that we are infinite spiritual beings, already intimately connected to everything. Why would we need to attain something when we already feel connected with it? Desires only form out of separation. When we sit and meditate on who we are, looking deep within inside ourselves, eventually the mind will become quiet. When this occurs, we experience the truth that we are eternal beings, filled with a great love, magic, and lightness. By knowing this inside, we naturally start living it. We really don't have to be afraid of letting go and trusting our real self. The one source will move us, guide us, shape our minds to reconnect with the hearts and souls of everyone. Living from this space, we finally reach a sense of peace with everything in our lives. Every day, we wake up and begin practicing being as vast and unlimited as the great infinite universe we are surrounded by. By playing an active role in this life, living out this realization in the sea of people around you, then something dawns on you, that you are truly free. When you see the world clearly, that everything is an expression of you, the real self, you stop hearing what you don't want to hear. you stop seeing what you don't want to see and stop feeling what you don't want to feel. Your mind is only fixated on the brilliant diamond of consciousness that it's found. You realize that this world is your mirror. Everyone is always reflecting back to you who you are. If you see an unhappy person, that person is inside you. When you're truly enlightened, the experience of the divine awakening being begins showing up in everyone in the most interesting ways. You are in an ever-flowing river of gratitude all day long. So become courageous on this path. Take the risk to meditate. Quiet your mind all day long. And soon, you'll come to know that what it means to be self-realized. And remember to love yourself, worship yourself, pray to yourself, devote your life to yourself, find joy in yourself, because God dwells in you as you. Robert Evans. Well put. Take 15 minutes, if you choose to do so, to do this exercise. Hold an intention to move down and out of your head and relax into your heart. Hold the intention and move down out of your head and relax into your heart. Your head will be sneaky and try to take over many, many, many times. Yet just bring your energy into your heart space. Imagine your heart is your favorite flower opening its petals up to the great sun. Feel the light entering your heart. It is melting any walls you have inside around feeling love. Now pick one person in your past who you are not 100% at peace with. Let these warm walls around your heart melt away and merge with the heart of this person too. Feel the sunlight is also inside their heart. Let go of whatever the mind judges about them. The goal is to be 100% at peace with this person for the rest of your life. When you can do this successfully with one person, then do it with everyone from your past. Take this on as an invitation to be at peace with everyone on this planet in the past and the future. Practice this and imagine how that will be. Healing simply happens when we are deeply authentic and real with ourselves. When we each stop repressing the truth of who we are and are opened with how we are honestly feeling, our real self receives full permission to come out of hiding. Then it's easy to see the truth. We can easily stop being so invested in the opinions of others. We can no longer hesitate, recoil, and retreat in fear of another's disapproval. It's your choice. Every one of us. It's our choice. If we are ever to be free from the judger inside us, who is not okay with others, and they are, and you as you are, there exists a deeper, mature part which can accept everything inside you. You can stop trying to pretend that you are more adult-like than how you really feel inside. To identify oneself with the body and yet to seek happiness is like attempting to cross the river on the back of an alligator. Ramon Murici. Merging is from the highest path a person can take. Moving into your most enlightened self comes from seeing that everyone is you in disguise. It's up to you to remember who you truly and really are. With enough meditation practice, and understand, meditation is focusing on the breath, sitting in a relaxed position, focusing on the breath. Sitting in a relaxed position, focusing on the breath. Listening to the space between heartbeats. That's it. That's meditation. With enough meditation practice, there comes this realization that you are in me, and I am in you. This is with everyone. The divine real self that we all are is impossible not to see. You realize it is everywhere, has no actual boundaries, is not terrified of intimacy with anyone. It loves letting go, shape-shifting and merging with everyone in this universe. It knows that if you cannot see God in all, you cannot see God at all. When we go through things, we repeat them. We have to repeat them because we absorb only so much in the beginning. You cannot, you read a book, listen to a song. You are not going to absorb all of it in one session. It is repetitive. Everything is repetitive. Why is that? Because we are so heavily programmed against the truth that we are gods, that we are divine perfection, that we never die. And this is a relentless process that's literally encouraging us to hug on to our ego, mind, which in reality is an illusion. The ego mind is an illusion. Everything around us is an illusion. It's made by us, for us, to wake up. We have no idea how long we've been in this amnesia, right? We believe the opposite. We mostly are controlled by the ego mind. We believe the opposite of being supremely powerful, immortal beings in these bodies. We believe that we're the opposite of that. We exist forever. We are pure consciousness and beyond. We are learning lifetime after lifetime, but it's fragmented. Where would you be? Where would the God be inside you had that you did not have amnesia about anything, that you knew exactly that you are the God within that body, embraced by the soul? Think about it. Where would we all be? What would we be doing? We would be enjoying our lives, creating things, just enough flavor to challenge us at times. Nothing extremely difficult because we've all been there many lifetimes. We've had this repeatedly. How long? Eternity. How many times? Thousands, maybe millions. And all along, it's like we start over every time. So don't you believe that since that seems to be the case, that is swiftly melting away, doesn't it make sense to stay in the body for a long time so that we all get it right. Even if there is no right or wrong, that we experience enough that we know. It all changes. When you honestly with yourself believe that you are the God within that body, and we're not talking ego-mind, we're talking heart-mind. So you embrace the heart-mind, you drop into the heart-mind, you realize that you're not the body. You're not the ego-mind. It's a temporary vessel so that we've created collectively so that we can experience a physical material life and create challenges so that we become more aware. Now, would it be any different if you were in a bubble your whole life? You didn't interact or anything, but you enjoyed it, and then you left the body. Compared to, you experience many things, and you leave the body, and you lose all memory of those things. Not wild? What's the difference? There isn't any. So we experience in this life. Why do you think that our lifespans have been greatly reduced? Greatly reduced. Why? For what reason? When some of us have lived to be naturally 900,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 years. Naturally. And here we are today. Happy if we make it to 90. That's a vast difference from a minimum of 900 years. Life is about us. Does it make any sense to any of us that we incarnate for such a short period of time and then our memories are completely wiped and then we do it again? So you embrace that and you deeply go into it to curiosity to look at it. What's up with that? Is what we say to ourselves. Does it make any sense to us? No. So what is the alternative to embrace the God that we are in the body intimately, 24/7? So that we then begin to realize that this omnipotently powerful supreme being that we truly are in these bodies can heal these bodies within seconds. It isn't a race. We're not talking about 3 hours you can master that. But like I say, knowing it is halfway there. Being aware of it. Stating to yourself that you are the God within the body, that you are the God source. We all are. And everywhere we go, we see parts of ourselves in others. Period. That's a fact. Now, it doesn't mean that you like all of those things. Some you do. You gravitate towards those people, right? Isn't that, you want proof? The parts that you like about yourself that others show you in themselves are the ones you gravitate towards. The ones that show you parts in them that are reflections or parts in you that aren't so pleasant, you gravitate away from them. When you begin to understand, no matter who it is, where it is, what, where, how, when, you interact with people on a daily basis, whether it's on the phone, internet, in your mind, in person, in texting, they're purposely reflecting parts of you in them. They're showing you parts of yourself through them. You're showing them parts of themselves through you. This is what we all do, but yet we don't acknowledge it because we don't know that we actually are the God within the body and not the body. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Your problems do not exist. All problems are inventions of the mind from circumstances that the ego deemed undesirable. In reality, there are only opportunities for soul growth, and these problems are simply superhighways to transport you to higher consciousness. Just cruising along in divine perfection. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we will return here tonight around 9:15 or so, 9 p.m. Eastern, to continue our reverse aging health call, where the information we've given out has saved many lives. And tomorrow, Saturday, September 16, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, eternal gratitude at all times. This moves you into the now, keeps your frequency at a much higher rate than being in yesterday and tomorrow. The rest is for you to experience.